In this battle report for a game of OnePageRules Grimdark Future, the High Elf fleets battle against the robot legions, with both sides fielding 1500 points worth of an army each. To make things a little interesting and fun, we introduced some custom terrain rules on top of the basic rules. Here's my list. An Elven Noble is attached to a unit of shifters. The upgrades mean they all teleport and shoot a good number of AP4 shots at close range. The Noble is a Guardian Cleric and is given a shield projector, so the unit gets both regeneration and stealth. The unit will be placed in reserve to ambush turn 2 onwards. We have a second hero in a Lone Elite Protector, also with a Guardian Cleric upgrade for regeneration. The main purpose of this model is to grab objectives and act as a cheap distraction. There is a combined unit of 10 Retributors. One model is upgraded with a Dire Sword and Flicker Shield to give the unit regeneration. 2 models are upgraded with Twin Shard Carbines, while the rest are given the regular Shard Carbines. Finally, we have a unit of combined Elemental Strikers. All models are given Energy Swords and Combat Shields. Each model is tough 3 and have high defenses to make up for the lack of regeneration. For my opponent's list, a Triscorpion Lord is attached to a unit of bot swarms. The Lord carries an Annihilation Gun with Blast 3, as well as a Harvest Blade that deals deadly 3 damage in melee. It is also given the Gloom Protocol upgrade that gives the unit an additional 6+ save on top of the regular defense save and self-repair. Then we have a Robot Lord attached to a unit of Eternals. The Robot Lord is equipped with a Lord Reaper rifle and has a regen protocol to give the unit regeneration. There is another unit of Eternals also wielding Flux Carbines. The Flux means any hit roll of a 6 deals an extra hit. They have a 2+ armor save, which is as good as it gets. We have a combined unit of Guardians with Hyper Swords and Combat Shields. They are given the Jetpack upgrade, giving them Ambush, Flying and Swift. They will be placed in reserve until they're ready for it. Finally, we have a unit of Triscorpions equipped with dual Reaper blades that are made rending by the Plasma Bot upgrade. The players alternate in placing 6 objectives on the battlefield. The robots win the roll-off for board edge selection and initiative, so they deploy first. They begin with the Triscorpion Lord placed in front of Objective 6. The Elven Elite Protector is placed opposite the Triscorpion Lord. A unit of Eternals is deployed on the right side over Objective 2. The Striker Elementals appear in the centre close to Objective 3. The unit of Triscorpions are placed opposite them, also in the centre. The Retributors are deployed to the left of the Elite Protector. Finally, the second unit of Eternals, accompanied by the Robot Lord, appears on the far right side. Now to explain the special terrain rules. At the start of every turn, a coin is flipped. On a head, nothing happens, but on a tail, the surrounding volcanoes erupt. Fiery ashes descend upon the battlefield and everybody on it. To represent this, every unit deployed on the board has to take a dangerous terrain test, which means a dice is rolled for every wound remaining on the unit, and for every roll of 1, the unit takes a wound. The surrounding volcanoes erupt immediately. The Robot Lord and the Eternals take no damage. The Elementals roll 4 1s out of 18. Before any units are activated, the Elementals lose 1 model and a wound is carried over to the second. The second unit of Eternals all pass the dangerous terrain test, as does the Elite Protector. The Tri-Scorpions take 2 wounds, which put 1 model on a single wound remaining, but all models are still active. The Retributors manage to evade Nature's Wrath. The Tri-Scorpion Lord and the Scarabs take a single wound. The Robot Lord on the right side leads the Eternals forward towards Objective 4. The Retributors waste no time to target the Tri-Scorpion Lord. They advance forward and the 5 Retributors in the front row manage to get in range, including the 2 models with the twin shard carbines. 14 shots deal 8 wounds in total, removing all of the Scarabs, leaving just the Tri-Scorpion Lord standing. But it stands unfazed by the loss of its Scarabs as it passes its morale test. The Tri-Scorpion Lord returns fire with its Annihilation gun. It hits once, but with a roll of 6, it is increased to 2 due to the Lord being relentless. As it is a Blast 3 weapon, the Retributors take 6 hits in total, of which 3 wounds go through. The Striker Elementals move forward. They use the cover of the terrain and end on Objective 3. The Eternals move forward, retaining their claim on Objective 2. The lone Elite Protector runs forward to capture Objective 6. Finally, the Tri-Scorpions move to the left to reinforce the Tri-Scorpion Lord. At the end of the turn, the Elves capture Objectives 1, 3 and 6, while the robots gain control of just Objective 2. At the start of the turn, the volcanoes remain quiet.
Phew.
The Elven Noble and the Shifters teleport onto the battlefield, while the Robot Guardians stay in reserve this turn. The Shifters immediately flank the Tri-Scorpion Lord and unleash the monofilament web spinners. 8 wounds go through initially, but with self-repair and Gloom Protocol, the Tri-Scorpion Lord manages to reduce the wounds down to 5 and survive with a single wound remaining. It passes its morale test too. The Lord moves to contest Objective 6 and returns fire at the Shifters. It hits once and 2 wounds are inflicted initially, but with a successful regeneration roll, only 1 Shifter falls to the attack. The Retributors press the attack. They split fire equally against the Tri-Scorpion Lord and the unit of Tri-Scorpions. The 8 shots from the Shard Carbines finish off the Scorpion King, Lord, while the remaining 8 shots from the 2 twin Shard Carbines deal 4 wounds, killing off 2 Tri-Scorpions, leaving 1 remaining on full 3 wounds. It passes its morale test and immediately charges at the Elite Protector. However, despite the Tri-Scorpion having higher number of attacks with better quality and defense, the fight results in a draw, with both sides dealing a wound to each other. In the center, the Elementals rush forward onto Objective 5, ensuring the unit of Eternals ahead won't be able to step onto it. In response, the Eternals take aim and fire their Flux Carbines at the Elementals. Despite hitting with all 10 shots, only one of the Flux Beam penetrate the target's heavy armor. The lone Elite Protector runs behind the volcano in the center and stands behind the Elementals. The other unit of Eternals, led by the Robot Lord, advances slowly, reaching Objective 4. At the end of the turn, as the Elite Protector abandons Objective 6, the robots manage to gain equal number of objectives, as they now have 2, 4 and 6, while the Elves still have 1, 3 and 5. At the start of the turn, the volcanoes erupt again. The Robot Lord and its Eternals take 2 wounds. The Striker Elementals take 2 more wounds, removing the second model of the unit. The Elite Protector manages to stay safe, while the last Tri-Scorpion takes a wound and now is down to 1 remaining. Fortunately, it passes its morale test. The Retributors again get away without taking any casualties, but the Shifters take 3 and fail the morale test, so they are shaken. As the dust starts to settle, the robot guardians phase into the battlefield to the left of the elementals. But the elementals ignore the guardians for now and charge straight at the Eternals. The flurry of blows from the energy swords was enough to decimate the Eternals despite their high defense value. In their consolidation move, the elementals stay on the edge of Objective 2, readying to deny the guardians control of it should they charge. The Tri-Scorpion charges at the Retributors and cleaves one of their heads with the Reaver blades, but the counterattack of the elves just managed to finish off the robot beast as it crumbles on the ground. The Retributors then move into position to shoot at the Guardians from out of their charge range. The hail of shards decapitate 4 of the Guardians, leaving 6 remaining to charge at the Elementals. The Guardians do exactly that, and charge at the Elemental Strikers. Their Hyperswords hit 7 times, but only 2 wounds are inflicted, which is still enough to remove yet another model. The Elementals strike back, but they are fatigued from the previous combat against the Eternals and only hit on rolls of 6s. They hit twice, and as their energy swords are rending, those hits have AP 4. The Guardians take 2 wounds and the combat is a draw. The Elementals are proving to be unstoppable. The Elven Noble and the remaining Shifter come to their senses and are unshaken. The Robot Lord and the Eternals rush onto Objective 2, but slowly. Seeing Objective 4 abandoned by the Robot Lord, the Elite Protector runs onto it. At the end of the turn, the Elves take control of Objective 4 from the robots, and Objective 2 is contested. The volcanoes erupt again at the start of the final turn. The Elite Protector once again evade the falling ashes. The Robot Lord loses another bodyguard, and after failing its morale test, 2 more Eternals fall to the failed robot test, and the Lord now stands alone. The Striker Elementals take a wound, but pass their morale test. The Guardians also lose another model to the volcano, but hold their ground. The bearer of the Flicker Shield falls victim to nature's wrath, but the Retributors stay their courage. Finally, the Elven Noble loses his last Shifter, but passes his morale test. With little firepower left, the Guardians fall back as far away as possible, with a last-ditch effort to capture Objective 3. The Elementals, alerted by the presence of the Robot Lord having entered their domain, turn around to welcome it with their blades. The energy swords render the Lord's regeneration protocol useless, and cut through the Robot Lord as mighty as it is, like a Damascus blade cutting through tofu. The Elementals once again stand victorious. The Retributors move to the right to get in range, and with yet another hail of mono shards unleashed from their carbines, they take down the last of the robot army, while the Elven Noble runs to claim Objective 6. At the end of the game, the Elves achieve a total victory, having wiped out the Robot Legion and capturing all the objectives. I will say that the dice rolls were very poor for the robots, from a good number of failed morale tests and robot saves, to the Tri-Scorpion not being able to win combat against a puny Elite Protector, so that certainly didn't help them. It is also a shame that with their slowness, the Robot Lord and the Eternals didn't actually get to attack anything. I think it's a very tricky rule to play with, to be fair. But kudos to my opponent for keeping their spirit high, and generally being a pleasure to play against. The volcano rule that we came up on the spot turned out to be really fun, with random casualties wreaking havoc on both sides. It was a nice addition to the basic objectives game that we usually play.